Iron Stories, Episode 12, Travels. Welcome back to another episode of Iron Stories. I'm happy because a new episode also means apparently some more work on Roll20. The character sheet is now way much clearer. Just for you, if you are considering playing Ironsworn on Roll20, it has now been gotten much cooler in my opinion. Because there's some sharing features, etc. So go check it out if you haven't already. So we're back with Jebran and Katania. Last time they went to this small island at Lost Crag, and then they moved further into. They moved to. They concluded that by they had to escape saw a horde of husks, and then they got back to Lost Crag, spent some time there, and in the end they ventured further. So now they've heard about a new quest, so to speak, a new thing here at Thorn fields, where they have heard about that there's something going on in a an old ruin near this village, near this Thorn fields village, and so they were approached by a farmer when they were in Lost Crag. And they said there's maybe some wild animals in there, so they would be happy if they could be scared away, so they could keep the village safe. But I rolled on the table and it was a wrathful haunt, so there might be more than just some wild animals there. But we will find out as to as to if it is or not. I think I did not do this yet because we were just approached by the farmer. So we are going to fulfill or swear a vow, and Jebran is doing that, I guess, because he is again he was he said a bit, okay, we will help you, although we know that you don't have much money, we will take whatever you could spare for us, if not in coin, which is maybe not that valuable anyway in this kind of world. At least give us like I don't know, rarities you have, or kind of good rations or something like that. So there will be something on how they could be paid. He thinks he guesses for sure. So let's wear this iron vow then. So I don't think I share a bond here. Yeah, so let's wear a vow here. And where is this? That's not here. I think I have to do it against heart. Oh, it's a miss. Okay, you face a significant obstacle before you can begin your quest. Envision what stands in your way as the oracle sure, and choose one. You press on, suffer -2 momentum, and do what you must do to overcome this obstacle. So I would say, okay. So I don't think I'm going to. I mean, I could just go and say, well, I could just say here, whatever. But I think I'm still try to fulfill that vow. So I guess it may be dangerous as a difficulty. So it is dangerous. So I suffer the -2 momentum here then. Again, I don't know. I think it only applies to. No, I think it applies to everybody. So we are off to a maybe bad start here. Actually, oh no, I get +1. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I would still win with. I rolled a 2 against 7 and 8, so even with a 3, wouldn't be any better. Okay, so this is yeah. So I would say I that this is an 8. It probably takes me then a bit of time to get to wherever I need to go. So I would say that it travels to Thorn Fields. So normally I would have maybe said forget the travel. Let's not care about that. But I think now that I have this thing, maybe they traveled to Thornfields. They said maybe the farmer said, while I was traveling here, he saw some bandits along the road, or they say that the road is quite dangerous. The bandits might have seen that the farmer is maybe not as good as a target as maybe those two are, because they carry more valuables with them. So I would say that yeah, there's maybe some trouble along the road, so it's not that safe to travel. So that's why I guess I choose here to say that it's not that safe to travel, so I have to do like a progress here, so to mark my travels here. And it's troublesome. It's not that extremely dangerous there, but I mean it might be some sort of hindrance along there. He might also suggest, okay, maybe he did go out and ask for help without really the consent of the village. So this might be, so the villagers might not be that happy to see us, or that kind as he is. So we will see. So difficult or troublesome journey to Thorn Fields, and then as well I have the farmer did ask for help without permission, so to speak, from the village or from the village elder. I mean, there are the village is probably a plains enclave, so their leaders they have no direct leader. They have things. Yeah, so they basically voted for do we want help, and they said nah, it's just some wild animals. They will go away. Don't bother. But this guy, this one farmer, said, well, there's probably more to it. I think we should get help, and he's maybe a bit of on the scareder side. So he wants to make sure that there's nothing quite bad around. Okay, so let's say we travel on. So they pack their things and then begin their travels to Thorn Fields. I don't have a clue on how far they are from everything else, but we will figure that out. So let's move. Let's travel across the lands. So let's see who is leading. Probably Jebran is leading. I mean, he is. Yeah, I think he's leading. That makes probably the most sense here. He's leading the way for Katania. She's basically trotting around. As I said, he is more of this teacher guys here, and Katania is sometimes preoccupied maybe a bit with the voices in her head. So let's see what we roll here. So we roll. Oh, it's a miss. Jesus, I roll badly today. So it's 8 and a 3, and I have 3 with the challenge, with the thing dice, with the action score, which is blah. You're waylaid by a perilous event. Pay the price. Okay, so this is already bad. Yeah. Well. Make the most obvious negative outcome happen. Envision 2 negative outcomes. Let's see what they roll on the table. This all doesn't make sense. Okay, so it says here something of value is lost or destroyed. The question is, what do I have as a thing? Does it make sense? I mean, it would probably make more sense if there is like a I think it maybe makes more sense. I mean, they wouldn't just lose something of value. I mean, do they even have something of value here? I mean, they have some coins, I guess. From the last quest, they have some coins from the Lost Crag expedition that they just get. So this may something that they could lose, but I wouldn't say they just lose it that way. As I said, there are. Yeah, so I would say maybe it makes more sense that there's like that they get ambushed. So they're trotting along on maybe the open road. It's a calm day, and they move along there, and Jebran is maybe not that keeping much of a keen eye on the road, and it's maybe around lunchtime where they come along near a small little forest or small little wooded area, foresty area, and they said, and Jebran said, yeah, well, let's make a short rest here. Maybe the woods will give some benefits or we could hunt for something, make meal here, make rest here under the shadow. Let's not walk around or move along in midday sun. Let's make a rest here a bit until it the sun isn't that harsh again. They start to settle down, and Jebran is looking for something to hunt, or maybe preparing some rations, so he's not that careful. And at that point, I would say maybe like one or two hooded figures that they have this mask around their nose and mouth. By the day, there's like this typical Western style bandits that they just jump out of the thing here. Just we waited for you. Give us all your valuables, your money, or we will kill you on the spot. And I don't think this is like a big battle that or a big fight here that goes on. It's just a small little skirmish. So I will try out this battle thing here. I mean, even though he got jumped on, Jebran still has some reflexes to go for his axe and maybe try to knock one over. Yeah, so he tries to overpower them. So it like basically with full force from his axe, he wants to kill them. Yeah, so that's a nice score. Action score of 8 and challenge dice of 7. That's nice. But both of them, so I get an opportunity. But it's maybe not that bad. So so these two bandits, they spring forward. They try to overpower Jebran. So they have maybe some sort of sense of they have some sense of idea here. Yeah. The bigger, go for the bigger guy. Let's leave the small girl there. We can handle her afterwards, after the big guy is done. So they try to lunge at him, but I mean Jebran is still a burly guy and a big guy, he just takes his axe and just swings him around, and just with one swing, so whack, pushes just I mean with I would say like with the first one, the axe just hammers into the first one, like in the chest. There's like the guy is just I mean it's just across the chest, and he's with such a force that it just crushes into it. Like there's just blood spitting out, and the guy is just instantly dead. And with the same swing, like this is a big axe, he just like stays on there, and like with this wide arc, the axe just swings across and goes into the other guy that's just standing there, sees the first one get stabbed by the axe, and it's still on it, and like smacked with it, and just from the blunt force. And then Jebran is basically just with such force pushing him down as well onto the floor. So just whack to the, and then dislodges his axe, and the other one is like under his companion. He probably got hurt really bad. Is maybe like his back is broken, maybe his leg or something. The other guy is just in front of him, and Jebran just dislodges his axe and then just whacks him into the head again. So the other guy just dies as well. So I think this makes much more sense that they just instead of just losing something valuable just instantly. I don't think it makes any sense, and I would say this opportunity is maybe something that cancels that out. I would say maybe he can see one of the guys, or they must have been, while they were waiting for somebody to come by, they would check a drop. They were hunting like a small rabbit, and he sees this hanging on the belt of one of the guys, and Jebran says, well, at least we don't have to hunt for food or for lunch. He grabs that, and he begins to prepare the rabbit, and they begin to eat. So I would say at least something good came from it, even though these poor bandits try to ambush them. But I mean, maybe there's there more could be. So they eat some lunch. It takes them maybe 1 or 2 hours. So the sun is going further from this midday heat, so they could travel a bit better, and they can travel along. The road goes next to these woods, so at least they could, while they were traveling further, they can be a bit in the shadow. Of course, there's the problem of, I mean, they don't know the woods that well, so there may be something else lurking in there. So Jebran tries to keep much more track on what goes on, even or maybe because they just got ambushed by some some lowly bandits, but I mean still it makes sense to make a bit more check a bit better what's going on. So they travel further. This time they got a strong hit here, really important on the challenge dice, which is good. Yeah, so I mean they are able to progress much nicer. Now they have a full belly. They may have been resting like this 1 or 2 hours there. So they're happy to go along, and so they travel a little bit longer. And so during the day. Let's roll again for the next bit. Would say for the next bit into the night. You're weighted by a perilous event again. Okay. Let's see if I can find something else. Maybe there's a surprising development complicates your quest. Okay. What could that be? I mean, we're still not there yet. At Thorn Fields. So what might be a surprising development that complicates our quest, because we are currently not we're not there yet. Is there maybe what could this be? I have no idea what this could be. Doesn't make sense. I mean, I could say... I have no idea what I should say to that. Maybe the major plot twist says something for me. Unexpected powers or abilities are revealed. Huh. Huh. What could this be? I could say maybe. I mean, hmm. The um. Maybe I could think of if Catania. So sometimes this just don't make that much sense, and sometimes I just probably just can gloss over it. I mean, what could be? I mean, they have no idea yet um what might be there. So I think I note this down, and if it comes, because I mean basically they're walking. They maybe don't make that much of a progress to the night. They maybe they got the there's maybe some hill there. They have to travel upwards, and the road isn't quite that well established here. So this is maybe keeping them a bit longer during the journey, and so something maybe in the background, so to speak, uh, is um, is changing a bit what they might encounter there. So I keep that in mind for when they actually go to these ruins or into the village to talk to the people, because it doesn't make sense yet because they're not in a quest per se. So this doesn't make sense to complicate something, rather than just being waylaid a bit more, or a bit longer. So yeah, I would say that this is something that's there. I don't know. I mean, it could also be that maybe in this haunt, because it's a wrathful haunt, it could be maybe a threat there, a menace or something. But um, I mean, since I don't know exactly the threat, if there is a threat or not, it might be later on. So it might make sense to just keep that in mind and just go along here, to make it maybe more complicated, going going further. Um, yeah, that's a convoluted way to say. I don't have a clue what to do here. Um, so let's just. No, I would say now that they just it's going to be a night, so it's going to be getting there's dawn coming. They traveled along the whole day, from Lost Crag in the direction of the Thorn fields. So they make camp in the wilderness. It's a week hit, so I can still take what I want. I would say we focus. Yeah, so they doesn't there isn't that much. They maybe have some leftovers from the rabbit, that they recook or reheat something, or like I don't know, and eat some rations, then go to bed. They keep Jebran keeps watch for the first couple of hours. Then maybe it's Katania that keeps watch. So they both get asleep and they try to focus on the journey ahead. So they journey a bit further into thing here. It's a weak hit. I mean, it's a long journey, I guess. So they travel um, they travel a bit longer than they were expecting, or were what they wanted, maybe per se. So they have to rest again. I would say they're now clearing off from the woods into a more uh, clear area where it's just plain fields. So at that point, it becomes much harder just to go along the road. So or to find some resources along them, so they have to rely on their rations, so they become a bit more scarce than Jebran would have liked to. He would have, of course, more liked to have more to rely more on the wilds, so they can keep their rations for later, because it's much harder to get rations than to hunt. But yeah, they still make progress. Again, they're maybe now they're maybe half a day out from Thorn Fields. And again, yeah, it's still their supply is getting scarcer and scarcer, but I mean they're still able to travel along. There's nothing much going on the field, so I think that the most dangerous part of their travels was basically when they were near the forest, where there's like good hiding spots for bandits to ambush wary travelers. And now that they're more in open fields, it's probably now much easier for them to progress through there. And maybe so what does I've thinking about why is it called Thorn Fields anyway, but maybe we come to that later. So yeah, I would say it's all in all it's like a 2 days travel, but now days are coming back to or they are able to they're able to make their way to Thornfields. They even because I succeeded here, they even make it, I would say, a bit in a good way here, or they like there are able to get to Thornfields in a bit quicker, so that it's not that they would expect it to be there in the end of day, but they make it a little in like late afternoon. They make it to Thornfields. So I take a momentum here, and then I also gain. I cannot make another move here because I have this nation. So since they were able to not come in there late at night, people are basically just coming home from the field. So they could see that they're like gathering to go home, or to maybe go to an inn to take like 1 or 2 beers and talk about the day and frolic or whatever, and then go home, or some of them just go home for because their wives are waiting at home with the meals and the kids, so they should go home before, or otherwise she will get very upset. So yeah, but since they're able to get in a, like, down in a more busy busy time where there are more people, and so it's maybe a good opportunity to ask around about the uh, the um, the ask around the villagers about the nearby ruins, what there might be there, to gather some information before they head out, maybe next day, to before they head out to see what's what. So they try to gather some information before that. So I would say Katania is now leading that, because Jebran is a bit more grumpy, and he's not the one that is he's not the talkative type, I would say. Um, so it's maybe something that Katania would be more inclined to do. Um, so yeah, she tries to gather some information, ask around. Jebran is the farmer. He said he will follow suit the next day or so. So he's probably currently en route, and they should go to his wife and kid that stayed back at home. And he gave them like a scroll that informed the wife and kid, hey, these are our guests. Keep them safe while until I come back. They're here to help. Make them let them feel at home. So they have that, and Jebran is maybe trying to find out where this guy lives, so they could get warm meal and a roof over their head for the night, and probably at some point some payment. And Katania is meanwhile is going around the village and trying to find out more about this quest that they have, these ruins that are nearby. What might be going on there. So let's see. And since I since I'm here in a bit more busy day, I get +1 on this roll. So I get a strong hit, which is of course very, very nice to have that. Here comes something helpful and specific. The posthumous flower action was taken to be clear. How much what you learned? Again, +2 momentum, which is good. So I would say at first they're a bit hesitant, because as I said, the people there, they basically they had this vote. They come onto the village square. They discussed this, then they took a vote. Said okay, let's get for outside help. And so they are probably not that keen of how because they said no, we don't want any help. But they seem to be more keen now. So now let's see now. It's good that I took a step back from that one roll in the wild. So there's a surprising development that complicates the quest. So I would say since they started here, so reach the village on the second day, when everybody let's say after work time, so to speak. So they're more inclined now. So something has happened while they were on the travel. So there's like these 2 days, and maybe more. I mean, there's like at least 4 to 5 days that has passed since this one farmer basically went out to get some help. So I would say maybe that so that they had their gathering where they decided, nah, we don't need any help. It's just some wild animals. So nothing goes on there. Let's keep it. They will go away, or we just don't go to the ruins. We don't want to go there anyway, and they keep there. We keep our land. Who cares? And so the farmer then decided, well, it's probably not nothing. It doesn't hurt to check it out, but probably not for them because they're not the fighters. So let's search for somebody. So he was one of them that voted for, nah, let's investigate. So nah, let's seek outside help. So the next day he packed his thing and said goodbye to his wife and kid, and then said, I'm going to find somebody to help. And then he left off. So maybe he took 2 or 3 days until he reached Lost Crag. He maybe was even there for some time. And then, of course, it took Jebran and Katania 2 days to get back, or to get to Thornfield. So I would say there's maybe like 5-6 days in between, where stuff could happen. And since I rolled a surprising development complicates our quest, I would say since they're talking to these villagers and they seem to be now more willing to cooperate in a sense, because something has happened in the meantime, since these 5-6 days, and maybe it's like some of the kids they went to play, and even though the parents tell them do not go outside the village. I mean, they're kids. At some point, they don't listen, and they just got out, and then now these kids are missing. There's maybe like 2-3 kids that went out. That never returned. They're probably at the ruins. They don't know. So now there's some sort of pressing matter. So there's also now something this helpful and specific. So I would say even I would say they heard some. Maybe howling from the ruins. So they think there's certainly wolves up there. So the villagers heard howling wolves from the ruins, and so that's why now they're beginning to fear. So these kids left out and they hear this howling, so they fear. Okay, that they probably got eaten by the wolves, but they want to be sure if their kids have died, if they have been killed by these wolves, and if so, they may want some sort of revenge, to at least kill these wolves, to get back at nature, so to speak, but at least do that. To maybe even get a nice wolf pelt. Maybe this could be maybe the payment is this wolf's pelt. They reckon they will probably, if not, they will give you warm in the winter. If worse, I mean, they're probably worth some coin or something to somebody else. So I mean, consider that as a payment. They could keep the wolf's pelt when they kill these wolves. So consider that their payment. And so the villagers are, I mean, even though they were reluctant at first to get some outside help, they are more than happy now that somebody is there, especially with these kids missing, so that there's somebody here that tries to help them. I mean, there's maybe some sort of pressing matter, but Jebran is probably trying to reason with them. Yeah, there is a pressing matter there, but since their kids have been gone maybe a day or so, either they're already dead, or I mean, it doesn't make sense that they just now go out in this darkness into some unknown territory that's maybe riddled by wolves, which are much better fighters in the dark than they are. So it probably makes sense to wait until sunrise to hunt for these wolves in the ruins, and they agree, or the villagers are probably agreeing with them to do so. So yeah, I mean, maybe Jebran is also going around to restock a bit on supplies, I guess. I guess the villagers are happy to provide them with some resources, especially like rations. So they don't know how long they will be there, so it's probably good, and they give them some turkey and maybe some bread for their travels. I mean, the ruins are not far away from the village, but it's I don't know, maybe like an hour or two away. So that's why the children were eager to go there, because it's so close to the thing there. There's maybe these ruins have been long there, and they I mean, there's no opportunity for them to go there into the ruins because it's ruins anyway. They have been they're there since a long time. So whatever, if there were any valuables, they were long gone. So that's why the villagers never ventured into the ruins. They rather stayed at their village and tended to their fields. I mean, the ruins weren't always like haunted, or there wasn't always like noises coming from there. So they maybe have gone in the past to these ruins, found out there's nothing there, so whatever. So they gathered. Okay, let's go to let's forget that. So yeah, I would say that yeah, they gather some resources, and then the next day they go out and go to the ruins to find out what happens there. So the interesting thing here is now, so I would say I start another site here because I had so much luck last time. So I do a ruin. So now the interesting thing is so currently they're probably wild ruins, meaning that because the only thing that they know here is that there's probably some sort of wild animals around, but I could think that over time it may change, because I know from the quest here that is a wrathful hound, so it may be haunted at some point. But for now, I would say, because it's everything that they know, would be that this is that is wild. And the thing is, I mean, if I roll a 99, I could roll transition into a new theme, which is haunted, but I could guess maybe this is something I can just do freely anyway, because I mean, it's anyway my game, so whatever. So yeah, so let's say, okay, it's for now it's a wild ruin. And let's try out some of the oracles and generate a name for that thing. So let's see, it is, first and foremost, it is a place of detail. Okay. So I roll for a place, which is underkeep. Okay. Well, it could be underkeep of specters. Well, this makes makes sense if it's a wrathful haunt here, actually. So yeah, why not? Underkeep of specters is it? It is then the wild ruin, which probably will turn out at some point to a haunted thingy, maybe. So yeah, so wild ruin. Question is, what is the difficulty here? Could be either troublesome or dangerous. So I guess this is a 50-50 move. Okay, it's still troublesome, I would say. For now. I mean, again, they don't know exactly what's there, but I would keep it simple here and say it's a troublesome quest here. So yeah, the Underkeep of Spectres, the Wild Ruin. Kind of interesting. What could happen here? Yeah, well, I think we will find out the next time as we are here at this site near Thorn Fields to look out for the children that are maybe here, the kids, and maybe something else which we don't know yet what it could be. So yeah, let's end it here in this episode. There was still some rambling about here, but I think again was some quite interesting developments here that happened. I hear you in the next episode then.